Welcome back to another episode of Cobra Kai Companion, and I am Peter. And over in the corner, stretching out his quads and all of the limbs, is Watch Party. How are you doing, sir?
How did you know I was getting in my workout?
Well, I see the banana? Bunny ears, moving over there, and
Ah,
do a
there
little
you go.
gander, and
Yeah.
see you stretching. Don't want to
Yeah. Well, it's leg
cramp
day,
up.
so
And
I can't.
is
Yeah,
it okay? Don't skip leg days.
that's
Um,
true.
But we are back. We are back to do another top five list episode, and John Hurwitz also did a Q and A not too long ago, a couple weeks ago. A couple weeks ago. That sounds
It's
about
like
right. A week
mid-March.
and a
Yeah, the
half, mid
17th. Yeah.
March. Yeah. So we're gonna kind of catch up on that. I don't know if there's anything worth noting, um, in terms
I
of
don't
like
think there's been official news any on the Cobra
not.
Kai front.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was trying to be careful how to word it. There's been rumors. Do you want to mention
Concerning
any of those?
release,
Yeah, release
there
date.
are rumors concerning release, and my my source said it was unconfirmed anyway. Like
Hmm,
there were many dates flowing around, and the rumored date was just one that was of several. Um, which I'll just leave it at that. So
okay. What do you think about like the month of September? Do you think that's possible? Do you think that's too early?
I mean, season 5 was in September, right? So
And
I
they
guess it's
filmed
something
early that
Netflix has
year.
done. If you watch my channel, I've predicted perhaps multiple parts, like a part one and a part two. So if it's like part one September, part two December, that's something, that would fit with what I've talked about on my channel.
Hmm.
People have said, well, is it possible because they just started shooting? And yeah, probably. I think so, especially if they split it into two parts. Um, but I don't know.
Two parts would be nice.
Mhm.
A few months ago, Hayden mentioned, like longer episodes. And so if, let's just say the episodes are, like roughly 45 minutes each, right? Because we're used to like 30, 35, season five. A lot of them, I think the longest one was like 48 minutes, maybe with the season five finale. But if most of the episodes are north of like 30, 45 minutes, then maybe we do get a part one, part two. But, also, I don't see why they couldn't maybe even get started on editing, right? Like some of the episodes. Like do
Oh
they
yeah,
have
they start editing almost as soon as they start shooting. Like so,
okay. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. Um,
So you have nothing I'm privy to in the editing process, which I really should speak to some of the editors or something.
it's
Um
Zach Arnold. He would be my choice.
yeah, 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 absolutely. I mean, I
He's
take it up
for
with the
those who
man.
don't know, he joined the show in season two. As a fan, he saw season one and was like, I got to get on this. And he's a very accomplished editor. He I think he had done Empire and a lot of other shows, and he's really good at the montages. They really get him, and they tend to put him. He's been editing. He's edited since season three, the finales. So he's like edited like one, four, seven, 10 for like seasons three, four, and five or something like
Interesting.
that. Yeah. Um,
And I don't know if I mentioned this on the podcast, but when I met him at PaleyFest, he mentioned his son is a fan of Cobra Kai Companion. So yeah,
I think you may have mentioned because I said he had a smart son. I feel like I maybe even
you're probably right. Yeah, yeah. It's gosh, almost a couple years ago that happened. Kind of
yeah.
wild. Let me see here. We did talk about we touched
You
on
know,
the
we're
on the
coming up to, I was just thinking about 1 year since we did our 510 recap.
has it
Um,
really been almost a year?
yeah, because I remember I was on the road on that, and that must have been about coming up on a year ago. Um,
Oh, wow. Holy cow. And I'm glad that we don't go through the episodes that quickly,
mhm,
because maybe it would have been like a year and a half ago.
mhm.
Maybe. Well, no, it wouldn't have been that long now at this point. Yeah, yeah, I guess it would have. I forgot nothing happened in 2023 with the show.
Mhm.
Um, oh wow. Okay. And also speaking of episodes, I saw our friends over at Are You Karate Kidding Me just dropped their episode 502,
They did,
Mole.
yeah.
So I forgot about that. I saw it, I retweeted it, and today would have been a great chance to listen to that because a fantastic episode if you guys heard us talk about it. Um, but there they are. They're still out doing that. Cobra guys are still running through some 80s movies that they missed, so that kind of deal. If you guys are looking for stuff that is Cobra Kai adjacent, type of movies that Johnny would probably recommend. That's kind of what they're doing right now.
Mhm.
So that's it for some of our friends in the podcast world. All right. So before we get into the topic later on, the topic I did not mention, it's going to be top five karate moves. Watch party. That is one that you came up with.
Mhm.
And first, we will go through the Q&A. And A. And this was a good one. John got stuck. Was it LAX or was it in Atlanta?
I think he
Okay, he
was
got
at
delayed.
LAX going to Atlanta. Yeah, flight to
That's right.
Atlanta.
Yeah, okay, so he got delayed four times. I cannot even imagine. And so he got a pretty good Q&A going on here, and we're just gonna, per usual, stick with the Cobra Kai and Karate Kid related stuff. I will be reading the questions, and a watch party will be the voice of John Hurwitz. So let's see how this goes. Um,
John, I think was getting into something. We'll see. Go ahead.
okay, all right. The first one comes from Grace at Brutal Dea. She asks, "When can we expect a release date or teaser?"
Release date has been discussed, but not set in stone. Once that's locked in, we'll know more about the pace of announcements in trailers.
Who is that cartoon villain with
I
the
I think yeah, I think John was just I think he's angling to get maybe a spot in the next Shrek movie. Um
no there's a cartoon character with the he reminds me of like Wario but has like a dog as a sidekick and like I don't even know but that's who I imagine it almost kind of like Gargamel from like Smurfs like
Well,
I'm
I
for
thought
some
of
reason
Inspector Gadget
is that
because there was a dog in that, but the bad guy had a
yeah
cat, right?
no that was also Mr. what Claw right like he
Oh
has a
yeah.
much more deeper. I can't do it, but definitely not. Well, who's the guy that played him in the movie? Rupert something
I don't
Everett
remember.
or anyway, but not my claw.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I think John's evil side is just finally just
yeah.
pouring through
Mustache
here.
twirling there.
Yeah, it's
Um,
just he can't hold it in any longer.
so this is interesting. Release date has been discussed. Discussed with whom? With
With
Netflix?
Netflix, I'm sure. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
right.
like between, Sony people, the Netflix people, and them somewhere in there. Um,
Okay. At least a discussion has been had. That's exciting, right?
yeah.
So that just makes it seem even closer, even though we don't know what it is. But
Hmm.
I think they are pretty confident that it will be 2024, right? Like even
Yeah, I mean, he said that in January or whatever, right?
mhm.
And he hasn't backtracked on that, so I think that's we can still stick with 2024 for sure.
Right, and also what's on Netflix has Cobra Kai slated also for 2024 as
Mhm.
like renewed shows and whatnot.
Yeah, I think that came out somewhere in there. Yeah.
hmm we also, the next one comes from Carl at Cobra Kai fandom. He says, "Hey, Mr. Hurwitz, what can I ask that doesn't even attempt to threaten a spoiler? Will we get more 80s metal and music in season six?" Shout out to Carl real quick. He was an extra in season six, and that's all about I know. And he was
Was he?
on
I didn't know that.
yeah. He was on Cobra Kai Kids Drew's channel, and I think Ken was also a guest in that episode. It was like a 9 minute video, non-spoiler, just kind of
Oh,
talking about like the
mm,
process of him, getting to be on as an extra and stuff. So
that was good for him.
looking forward to that. Yeah.
So, what do you ask about music and metal? All right. Well, this is what did John say here? John, what do you have to say about that? Season 6 will have its fair share of 80s music and not just metal. There's a very non Johnny song in an early season montage that I know my wife and daughters are going to love.
I was expecting a little laugh at the end or something. Um, okay, so this can be anything. Z-
You know,
so
when I first saw this,
yeah,
I took the montage to be that it's not an 80s song. Um,
right.
but it could be. I guess he didn't say that. He just says it's something for the ladies, I guess. What does that mean? I don't know. I mean, the ladies love all the music that's been in it already. So what is his wife and daughters love?
He just
His
says a
daughters are like
very
teenagers, right? Aren't they?
he just says a very non-Johnny song.
Taylor
And
Swift? Oh
it
fuck,
could
I
be,
hope
but
not. Oh shit.
I
Oh
don't
shit.
believe I don't believe they're teenagers, but younger. But hey, it could be some Tay Tay. You know, she might have some montage
Is
worthy
that what you
songs.
call her?
I mean,
Tay Tay?
not Tay. I mean, Tay Tay was
Maybe parts of her body, but not her.
no. I think Tay Tay was when she was dating Taylor Lautner, and so they were like Tay Tay. So I don't know. I've always just called her Tay Tay since then.
I didn't know
Um,
they went out.
yeah. Team Jacob. Were you
I
Team
get
Jacob or Team Edward?
um ah
Ooh, sounds like you're really
um
thinking this through.
oh, I didn't think anyone was actually Team Jacob, but I don't
What?
know.
I was Team Jacob.
Oh, okay, werewolf.
I quite
Mhm.
liked that.
You like the
Yeah, sure.
hairy men?
No, no,
Mm.
I was about to say Eclipse the book. I thought that was a pretty good audiobook. Yeah. That hey,
Actually, it probably is the strongest one.
see,
Of the four, I did read them, but
so there is a story. Twilight is what got me into podcasts. Let's see.
a story for another time.
Okay, all right, fair enough, fair enough. Okay, montage. So we're getting a montage early on, and it's something that the
Now it's a
Hurwitzes are going to
non-Johnny
enjoy.
song, but is it a non-Johnny montage? That's an interesting follow-up. Um,
What if it's led by Johnny? You know, it's
I
a team
don't,
montage. You know,
I don't, yeah,
group montage.
I don't know, I don't know.
You know, or is it you know, maybe Johnny running to like a sped up version of you know, hey, Mr. Postman, or you know, and he's fixing like all the mailboxes he's picked.
I don't know.
You know,
I guess it's not metal. It's not rock. So like it's something different, like something on the vein of "That's My Girl," like which is like was a different one from that song was chosen by Zach Arnold, by the way. For those who
oh,
didn't know
interesting.
that piece of
Oh,
trivia, yeah, the
yeah.
editor.
Okay, and also this doesn't say if it's something that has already been selected, so maybe it's like written in as a needle drop, but also even so, that doesn't necessarily guarantee that that's the song that they're gonna end up with, right? Unless it's already been edited in, like and that was already cleared, right? Because
Yeah, I guess we don't know, but he seems confident in saying that.
that's fair. Because I think about season, well, in the Ace Degenerate, I remember Hayden shared in our Facebook group, you know, way back when that the original song was going to be Survivor's Ocean or Oceans or something like that.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
they changed it a little.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah, and then it went with Head Games. So.
which
Um,
worked out, I think, when he.
Oh, absolutely. It's
Yeah.
almost, I mean, you could kind of, you know, there's been edits out there, you know, with the that other song, and it works just fine as well. But at this point, you know, you're just like, well, you can't really watch that scene with like another song, you know?
Mhm.
Yeah. All right, let's moving on. Next one comes from at Brian Niambi. He asks, will we have more fun moments with our favorite characters in season six?
No, nothing like this. Only misery.
Oh yeah, I bet you very little fun, probably a lot of misery, chaos, things like that.
Yeah. I mean, I think
Monco,
God, what when he says misery, maybe he means like Daniel winning,
hmm,
Miyagi-Do winning. You know,
hmm,
we want Cobra Kai to win. So yeah,
right?
that would be misery. Yeah.
Martin Cove likes to use the word mayhem.
Mayhem. Yeah, he
Yeah,
did use that word in your
yeah.
interview.
Hmm. Next one comes from Edson Jer 96. There will be more references of Johnny to Rocky movies.
I can confirm you haven't seen the last Rocky reference yet.
And it's at this point, it's kind of like the TV, right? Like it's got to happen.
It's gotta happen. In fact, I have a video on my channel that basically, I think, confirms what it's gonna be. I'm pretty sure I know what
Ah,
it is.
there we
Um,
go.
but we won't go there. It's maybe tad spoilery.
Just go watch the video if you guys are
Yeah.
interested. Plenty of videos. Next one comes from Masked Jalen 1. Can we expect more lore of Priest and Silver in season 6? I really enjoyed the flashback scenes and hearing more about Kim Sung Young. Kim Sung Young.
Look at this show more. Ooh, yes, we want to make sure we see everything John says. Season 6 expands the Karate Kid Cobra Kai universe more than the first 5 seasons combined. The world building has been truly exhilarating. Excited for everyone to see the diversity of scenes we've been filming episode 2 episode. We're going to so many new places in the Miyagi verse.
If you guys could see the video, I mean, I guess you could technically, like, if I put up the video of me actually just like, cheesing, it's pretty fun. Hearing uh, I don't know, alternate John. I don't know what you would call
No,
this
it's
version of
real
it.
John. He's
It's real
finally
John.
taken the
This
mask
is
off.
how
Yeah.
he actually speaks.
Yeah.
So he puts on a voice when I speak to him. Then
Oh
um,
yeah, yeah. That's his like going out voice, like, I
got
gotta
it.
put a face on for the world.
This particular tweet post has gotten a lot of people excited because
Hmm.
going to so many new places in the Miyagi-verse. So
Hmm.
literal and metaphorically, probably.
Yeah.
More flashbacks. So many different options for them with the final season. Probably going to go really bold, but I don't know. What are your thoughts?
I actually tell you, I'm writing a video on this tweet right now.
Okay.
Be out mm, within a week or it's the next week. But yeah, definitely. There's a lot of lines in this, that think, first off, expanding it more than the first 5 seasons combined. That's a big statement. The world building. So it's not just like characters. It's like the world, institutions, whatever. A lot of that probably be the Sakai Takai things going on. And then something also I pointed out, like when I went over this in my stream too, he says diversity of scenes, and I think that's such an interesting choice of words. Very different. It's not. We've had think of bad eggs, right? It's like they're at the Cobra Kai dojo, they're at the Miyagi Do dojo, and then they're at the jail, right? There's not really diversity of scenes in that episode, right? There's just
Mhm.
3 locations, and they kind of move around. But if he's deliberately pointing out diversity, I think we're going to be in a lot of different locations,
Right.
episode to episode, from one to the next. Yeah,
Yeah.
many new places in the
That
Miyagi
makes
verse.
a lot of sense. And again, you're right. The diversity of scenes, just those words, it's very
Yeah.
specific. Um, and for five plus seasons covering the show and just about every Q&A he's done, John's very careful with the way he words things.
Mhm.
Um, uh, Hayden maybe not so much, but John definitely. We're going
Oh,
to
I
so
think
many.
Hayden is too, just in a
Oh,
different
okay,
way.
fair. That's fair. Yeah. We're going to so many new places in the Miyagi verse. So that's um, just really excited for it, as we all should be. Okay. So the next one, this one is from a friend of the show, Anne I guess I never really read her, username out here. S- Escape Rania? Yeah, sounds good to me. Any chance we get another Netflix live and badass event, or two or three, to get season 6 off to a rousing start or finish? Hmm. Great choice
I
of words
don't
there.
know what Netflix has planned yet, but I'd be surprised if we go out with a whimper.
That is also true. Well, there's probably going to be another big premiere like they did last season. Um, let me see, the Live and Badass, they had special guest Yuji come on, and they had quote unquote Terry Silver on the monitor. And what else came out? Then that's where they also revealed the new trailer, Gasoline, May 8th. Does that sound right? That just jumped into my head.
That could be right. I do actually remember that. I remember, um, being
I remember that
live. I
night.
going live that night. Yeah.
Yeah, it was
That was a fun
quite
night.
it was really exciting. And shout out to Pialani who sent me because she was in attendance. She sent me some videos. One of which was like Yuji's entrance, and she's like, "Oh, I'm paraphrasing, but she's like, Peter, he's here," and she sent that to me. And so yeah, that was really cool to see. And then obviously the line that would like change my life. I am gasoline. Just like what? Oof, man, just thinking about it. Yeah. So yeah, we'll
Fire.
keep an
Yeah.
ear out,
Hmm.
So excited about what Netflix has planned, if anything, at this point. Next one comes from JNSTL. Which character are you most satisfied with the way you've written their arc, development, and story across all 6 seasons? If you can't pick just one, which one is a standout? That's a good question.
Good question. I am proud of the thought we've put into the arcs for all of our characters, and even more proud of the way our actors have brought them to life. It'll probably be easier for me to narrow it down to a top 5 or 10 after the world has seen the final season. But for now, I'll say Rux.
Wow. So I did not see this one. I didn't see most of the Q&A because I like to kind of go into it blind, just to kind of get like a organic reaction. But that's I've not not that I've been saying it, but when it has come up, I said, Brooks isn't done. Like that needs to be addressed. And so
I think
that's
he's
gonna
saying
be.
Brux is a joke here. I mean, I
Do you
know
think so?
he's an evil.
Or-
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I think it's like Brux is semi joke because he's like because he just got beat up and disappeared. So
Okay.
it's like I don't want to narrow it down. So and the guy asked, can you give me one? He's like Brux, yeah. Uh,
So do you think it's something like it's just enough to kind of wet the palate, or it's just to give us something, right? Like this is
Yeah, yeah,
almost
because he asked for something, so he's like, I don't really know what to say,
right,
so
right,
I'll
right,
just say Brooks,
right, right.
who you last saw like trying to get beat up.
Yeah,
Actually, someone asked if he was still alive, and I pointed out it would be heck for him to say he's proud of his character arc if he were dead.
right.
I'm
So I
sorry, I
have
can't.
yeah,
It just makes me laugh. Like,
right.
oh yeah, I really like Brooks' character arc. Wow, what's he like? He's dead.
I don't know if I ever shared anything on social media, but I'm pretty sure like he's flattened, like in Drop Dead Fred, like he's just completely flat, being pummeled by a hawk. Did you not see that movie?
Um.
I think
No, Drop Dead Fred.
1990.
No,
Yeah, no,
it
okay.
reminds me of a joke in Top Secret though. 1984, that movie came out, by the way.
Wasn't one of the soldiers also like flattened and he spends like
No, no,
no?
it's slightly different. Like he gets a call from like this guy's like it's World War II or whatever, or
Mm,
whatever. Like he's like in prison. He's like, yes, 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 yes. Well, let me know if there's any change in his condition. He hangs up the phone. He's dead. Like, let me know if there's a
okay,
change in his condition. Like,
that's hilarious.
he's dead.
So I think this. I mean, it's a tease. Yeah, you would read
Yeah.
this as a tease. Like, okay, it's like possibly expect to see Brooks back for
Yeah.
something. Yeah, and so like this is just a safe no answer. Um, but this is us almost every new topic here. John says it'll probably be easier for me to narrow it down to a top 5 or 10. We try to do that, we'll see how our lists fare
Hmm.
later on. So that one I like. Let's see. The next one comes from a friend of the podcast and your channel, Melissa.
Yeah, Melissa.
Uh, Pascuch 8.
I never asked her how to pronounce her
Oh, you know
last
what?
name. I would actually
Maybe Pascucci.
Pascucci.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
could be
So yeah,
Pascucci,
yeah. Pascuch
Italian.
8. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
She asks, what's your favorite Miyagi reference in the show?
impossible to pick. The first thing that pops in my head is the flashback to Miyagi when Daniel is in the car after visiting Miyagi's grave in episode 5 of season 1. But I think the best is yet to come.
Wahaha. So what are we thinking like a Force Ghost? And he's gonna like maybe fight alongside, some of the senseis or
Why does it have to be a force
wait,
ghost, Peter?
yeah. Well, hold on now. It's just a reference. Um, like a flashback. Uh,
There you
there we
go.
go. Yeah. Okay. See, if I had read these through and formed some thoughts, maybe I would have had better answers rather than just reacting like, oh,
I'm impressed at your ability to miss these.
you
Like when
know,
you
I
find when you're looking at spoilers in white for a show, you just get them all. But like when it's like John's tweets, ooh,
okay. I mean, we would have to kind of do the math. March 17th. I'm sure I was, with the kids. It probably sounds like a
yeah. I think
Sunday.
it was a Sunday. I think that
Okay.
yeah, I do think this was a Sunday.
Yeah, see, and Sundays, yeah, always with the kids, and we were probably out doing something, I'm sure.
All right.
And actually, you know what? May have got my father's been sick, and so I know, kind of been visiting him, in and
Mm-hmm.
out of the hospital, kind of thing. So, yeah, it was definitely one of those things. Like, I was even thinking about saying like, hey, he did a Q&A. Want to do something tonight or tomorrow? And so I never did that. So that clearly I was definitely busy since didn't even ask you that. And the
That's
fact that
true.
we
You
waited
didn't.
this long. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have been busy on the personal end here. But yeah, very excited. And that is also a great flashback one. Would that have been the first one that popped into your head?
Actually,
If someone asked
probably
you,
like,
you think so?
or if they ask me what's my favorite, I actually think I may say the thing, say the
Um,
same.
Yeah, I think my favorite Miyagi reference is actually the seeing Miyagi in 206, right? The opening sequence where
Yeah, when
yeah,
it's trashed, yeah,
hmm
from
when
behind, it's a
right
body double, but yeah,
is a body double and you first see like hands painting and I remember my first reaction was like, oh, he got some of the students to kind of clean up Miyagi-Do, but then it's a reveal that, oh, it's Miyagi, and you
hmm
see the back of him and Miyagi-Do, and then it kind of transitions to the vandalism and Daniel standing out there. So that would be the first one that comes to mind for me. But yeah, good one. Very excited to see what is coming. And Anne returns and asks,
we're skipping
oh,
that one.
yeah, we're skipping that one. Yep. Okay, so let's see. How about that one? Yeah, okay, so this one comes from Real Kenny Roy. Will we ever get a Coors Banquet collab with Johnny's face on it?
Will
Like,
we
yeah,
tagging Coors Banquet?
what is Molson Coors?
I assume it's their,
Oh, it's a brewing.
it's. I mean, I assume it's like the parent company or something.
Got it.
I don't know. Yeah.
Interesting. All right. This one comes from Amy at Sabrina Obscura. She asks, let's see. Oh, she's replying to something that he says. Yes,
Yeah,
this.
she's like we're playing. Yeah.
Okay, so let me see. It's oh, so it's a response to Anne asking about. Oh no, this is something unrelated.
She
So
asked a question. Amy
yeah,
was like seconding the question, and then John responded to Amy,
right.
sort of
Okay.
second.
So Anne says, now that the show is ending, any chance we get some episode commentary from across all 6 seasons, either on DVD re-releases or podcasts? And Amy says, yes, this please, a commentary podcast even. And can someone please force Billy to post all the behind the scenes stuff we know is on that phone or on an iPad? Who knows? But yeah, would love that. And
The guys and I would love to do a commentary podcast at some point if we can find the time. A treasure trove of memories to share. As for what's on Billy's phone, you don't want to see me naked. No, we gotta figure it's mostly TikTok dances, right?
I like the hashtag dancing Billy. So there's something we don't know. Also, did John Hurwitz just turn into a pirate right then? It
It
sounded
it
more
happens.
piratey.
It happens. I always thought he
Yeah,
was
yeah.
like. I think he said once he's half pirate on his mom's side.
Got it.
Um,
Got it. All right. Yeah, a commentary podcast. I'm here.
they've
I'm here
talked
and
about
available
that
and free.
before, haven't they?
Oh,
Like,
many a times.
yeah,
Um,
and are doing a Karate Kid podcast and
yep.
stuff like that. Yeah.
hmm Yeah. The next one comes from Map of the Poets. Hi, John. How are all of you and the whole cast knowing that it's the last season? I can imagine there's a lot of nostalgia in the air. Oops, sorry, wrong way. Whoa, what the hell am I doing? Okay, there we go.
There's an amazing energy. I feel like we've been all savoring every moment, both on and off set. It's been a special ride and continues to be.
I bet. I bet. Yeah, a lot of these cast members, they've been with each other since what, as early as 2017.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they shot
they've
season one. Yeah.
yeah grown up together. Many of which obviously as their teens, into their early 20s. Kind of crazy.
Mhm.
But yeah, I can only imagine the feelings, because like they've become family too.
Mhm.
And so yeah, I
Yeah.
do wonder, how many tears, if any, like how many people have shed a tear. So probably
Mhm.
everybody. I don't know. Who knows? Melissa makes a return here. She asks if you could describe the Cobra Kai series finale fight scene in one word, what would it be?
Memorable.
Okay. All right. I hope so. I hope so.
You
Looking
know what's
forward to that
interesting
one.
about that to me that I thought when I
Hmm.
saw that is like they haven't filmed it yet. Like, right? I assume they haven't filmed the final fight scene. Like, so
I
I
don't
don't know.
know.
I guess
I
he's
don't
like
know. I mean,
is I mean maybe they've talked about it at this point, and have an idea, but like is it even choreographed? Like my assumption is probably not yet, especially 2 weeks ago. Um,
yeah,
but I
that's
don't
that's
know.
a good question, and I do wonder, if they are, how out of order are they filming? Um, based off of like people's availabilities, things of that nature and
Yeah,
locale. So yeah,
yeah,
I guess
we'll
we will
see.
find out. But I'm glad that it'll be memorable. This this
Yes.
final
Yes.
fight. Yeah,
You won't forget it.
yeah, definitely not forgettable. The next one comes from Sifu Dan 605. He asks, the fight choreographers and writers did a phenomenal job of making season four's All Valley the best of the Miyagiverse. Will the
Hmm.
Sekai Taikai span 2 episodes as well?
I won't say how many episodes take place at the Sakai Taikai, but I will say our stunt team will be deserving of all the awards for the work they're doing on season six. We've taken things up a notch.
Interesting. Up a notch. Okay. So in season four, the All Valley, they introduced weapons demonstration
Skills
and
event was a bunch of
s-
that stuff. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Season five, no tournament. I'm trying to look at the wording of this as well, whether it's just like fights in general or tournament style stuff. But
Well, he did say
uh
all season six, so on
oh,
season
okay.
six, yeah.
They're doing on season six. There it is. Yeah. So I do wonder what the up a notch can be, including the senseis in more street fights. I don't
Bigger,
know.
better. I don't know.
Hmm.
Louder.
Maybe a fight will like run into like the next episode. Like that's the cliffhanger. Like you just have to like start the next episode to continue the fight. That's how long it is. Maybe. All right, next one comes from Mills Wheels 96. Will my main man Dimitri get some more time to shine this season?
Dimitri shines like a diamond in season six.
I wonder if that's a Rihanna reference. Perhaps
Probably
that
not. I
probably
don't
that's
know.
a montage song.
Oh
It's
man.
like Dimitri leading the pack. And it's shine bright like a diamond, and it's like Rihanna. No?
Oh man.
Okay, all right, guess not. The next one comes from Mundo Cobra Kai. What makes Sekai Takai such a special tournament?
The unpredictability, the international scope, the skill level of the fighters.
Mm, very, very excited. Yeah, the skill level of the fighters. People forget that a lot of the our group of kids, the combined dojos, a lot of them only just started riding. And so, yeah, the skill level of the fighters from, wherever that are also
Hmm.
part of this tournament, they've probably been fighting for years, since they were kids even.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's going to be really interesting. So I do like that. The international scope, he says, unpredictability. Maybe because there's going to be a lot of new fighters, right? So you don't know what to expect out of them, maybe um in the tournaments. I don't know. That'd be really interesting. Like every time I hear about the Sekai Taikai, I always just think back to like Bloodsport and like that style of tournament.
That's yeah.
With- but with kids, we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see how far they go. Um, the next one is from at Robbie Apologist. Will Robbie fans be happy this season? Is there anything you can say about Robbie this season and your opinions on him?
Tanner Buchanan is doing tremendous work this season. Robbie fans have a lot to look forward to.
All right, well there you go.
Mm.
And that's exciting. I think
He was
I,
savoring that the way he said that. Didn't you think
he
like
really
that?
was. He
Yeah.
really was.
I
The,
don't
the, the
know.
the way
What's
he
this?
he
He's
started
always gonna have his shirt off again. That's what he's
yeah,
talking about.
that could be it. That could
Yeah.
be it. Yeah, more shirtless Robbie probably.
Yeah.
Um, let's see here. The next one comes
Mm.
from Uzair and a bunch of numbers. Hawk has a strong following in the fandom. What can us Hawk fans look forward to? I feel this might be you. Is that your burner account?
No, it
Oh,
wasn't. It could have been, but his most epic mohawk to date.
oh yeah, and
Uh,
you recently made a video based off
I
of this.
did, yeah, for sure one, yeah. But
Yeah.
I included a little thing that Jacob had said, talking about the mohawk too. His
Uh,
own, like he wanted it like white with shadowy gray tips is what Jacob was always looking for.
did you mock up that image yourself? There was a couple different ones, but I think it was the first one with the white or whatever. It almost looked like a big old tooth, like a shark tooth, like on his head. You'll have to go back and
Hmm.
look at it. It was actually kind of funny, but I like that look actually, the white,
Hmm.
well, whatever it was. Yeah, I like that look a lot. Do you? Well, no, you know what? I'll just tell people if they're interested. I mean, you kind of just speculate and do a few mock-ups if people want to take a look-see to kind of see what you were kind of thinking.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, and I had a few of my own guesses
mhm,
or whatever.
mhm, mhm,
Um,
mhm. All right, so there we go. As we all do every season, what color is his hawk gonna be? His mohawk gonna be next? So there we go. I mean, and if you guys watch like the Lone Lobos podcast on YouTube, I mean, you can see his hair color. So there's that. All right, next one. Ooh, we haven't seen this gentleman in a while since season two.
it's an
This
unrelated question.
we will move it along. Okay, next one comes from XL1 Ghosty. Will Miguel fans be happy this season?
If you like floppy haired Cholo, you'll like what you'll see.
Wrong pun. This is not obliterated. This is Cobra Kai.
If you like
Um,
floppy Cholo, floppy haired Cholo.
yeah, it's like saying like the sky, like yes, and the sky is blue, water is wet, right? So if
Yeah,
you, yeah, unless Miguel gets a buzz cut, we're gonna like Miguel, you
yeah,
know.
there you
Oh,
go.
there we go. Next one comes from J4 Eyes. How many times are you gonna make me cry this season?
I can't tell you how many times. That varies person to person. But make no mistake, you will cry.
I guess the bigger question is happy cry or sad cry, right? Like, are we gonna do Miguel
Mm,
cry in 408 or 502, or is it gonna be like maybe 410 with Robbie and Johnny? May happy tears there. Who
mhm,
knows? Who knows? But looking forward to crying. I
mhm.
love that. Here's one of my favorite questions right here. This one comes from Joseph Cobra Kai, and if you listen to one of my Michael Jonathan Smith interviews, this is where this question comes from. Does anyone shit in a tuba this season?
It's
And
just Bert shaking his head no.
that's it. Yeah. That's a great question because we do wonder. I mean, there's a card somewhere in the writer's room that Bert takes a shit in a tuba. Will it happen? And I don't know if the answer is yes or actually a reaction to the question. So,
Yeah, I feel like he's reacting to the question
okay, all right, fair enough. And
because he's shaking his head no in the image, but kind of
yeah,
like, but yeah,
right. And I
and I think
think
that's
that
it. Yeah.
concludes it. Do you remember anything else maybe that didn't show up or something?
No, I think that was it.
That's about it. Okay. All right. Well, that concludes the Q&A, but not this episode. We will now get into our top five karate moves. Which part you did come up with this topic, so we will
Mhm.
have you start. Now, I did not solicit any feedback. We thought that maybe combining the Q&A and the top five, will give you guys a nice lengthy episode, and didn't want. Um, to just really make this a long one, but also scheduling. So, all right, sir, tell me, how difficult or easy was coming up with this list?
Um, I guess there was a lot. It's not like it's difficult, of course, to define moves you want to include. It's always deciding, do I want to put it in this one, this rank, that rank, and so often there's many of them. Yeah, you're like looking at it, it's like I could put it there, I could put it there, Definitely there's been a lot of great karate moves, let's just say that.
Absolutely, absolutely. I tried. I tried going through IMDb and just like looking at some of the images.
Hmm.
That was kind of like me quote unquote reviewing, and just I was hoping like things would just randomly pop in my head, and some of those put on a list. And let's see, I have eight here, and I think I'll just kind of read them the way I have them numbered. But I'm sure even if we had feedback from the group, there's so many different moves, and everyone's
Interpretation. Yeah, and I know
interpretation.
there's stuff I didn't include, like,
Mm,
and it's yeah, I ended up I think going with what I think is like cool or flashy, but definitely it was a wide open
yeah.
category. So
Yeah, yeah, very broad. Absolutely. So, why don't you kick us off with your number five?
all right, number five, top five best karate moves. Number five, season three, episode two, Nature versus Nurture. In the warehouse fight, Johnny sweeps the leg of the guy while Daniel does a spin kick as the finishing on the boss. Uh, Sort of a cool move, great end to a great fight. They kind of do their signature moves. Johnny's sweeping while Daniel's kicking the face. It's a cool fight that ends on a great move like that, and it's the two of them together. So I am like combining the two of them for this, because it's a team move. Yeah, I think it's just a cool move.
I agree with you. It shows up later, but I'll just go ahead and we'll just discuss it now. I have it at number one, because it's the
Wow.
two of them. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's the
It's
two of
because
them. Yeah.
it's the two of them, and if you remember, um, we had a year and a half lull between seasons two and three, right? Three
Hmm.
came to
Hmm.
Netflix, and we were waiting a really long time for something, and then
Hmm.
the trailer drops, and then we see that as part of the trailer. We're like, what the
Right.
fuck? They're fighting together, So there
Right.
was a lot of excitement around that, and
Hmm.
and I do believe that the fight was as uh what was the term? it's exactly what we wanted.
Exciting. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
it's everything we wanted, and then the bad guys were like using weapons as well. But
Hmm.
yeah, the leg sweep with the round kick or whatever it is,
Hmm.
it just looked really badass. And yeah, seeing it in the trailer just made it even more exciting for season three. And we wanted to see if Miguel actually ended up surviving, the fall.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
I didn't think about its placement in the trailer, but that definitely I can see why that in a way really did even elevate it. It was
yeah.
just such a because you're so blown away in that trailer and you see that movie, it's like, yes.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's why I had it so high because
Yeah.
it wasn't necessarily just like, oh yeah, okay, well it's the two of them and look
Mhm.
how cool it really looked. But like the first time I saw it, it was in the trailer. So it wasn't even like like, oh well cool, it's the year
Mhm.
after and we're getting a new trailer and like whatever. It's like everything that we went through leading up
Mhm.
to finally seeing something. And that one right there really stuck out for me, and I had that at one.
Mhm. Yeah,
All right,
definitely.
so back to you for four.
What was your number five?
That's I went
Okay,
ahead and
okay.
yeah, yeah,
So I'll do
because
four, now you'll do your five. Okay.
correct.
Okay, all right, I got it. I got you. All right, so my number four. Ah, yes. Season one, episode 10, Mercy. Hawk's flying punch in the early rounds of the All Valley and the subsequent celebration. I feel like this is where like Hawk was truly born. That flying punch kind of became his signature move. It's really cool. It's something of him. I think people have called it the Superman punch.
Okay.
But yeah, it's so cool. And of course, I'm throwing on just the celebration on top of it when he's like celebrating, rips off the top of his
Yeah.
gi and
He's so hot,
Mhm.
right? Is that what she says that?
Yeah, yeah, that's
Yeah.
when she says it.
That's a good one. Let's see, do I have a Hawk on here? I have Hawk somewhere listed, but not even close to that. Again, there's so many different things, but yeah, that's a cool one. I'll just leave it at that. That's a cool one. Not one I have, but I was
Mhm.
trying to spread it around to like different people and stuff. Um, my number, so I reordered it. I took my number one, put it at five. So my number four comes from episode 402, first learn stand.
Mhm.
And this one isn't necessarily a karate move per se, but it is a cool move, and it's a legacy move, and we see it performed by Daniel, where he is doing the bottle cap challenge. I mean, nope, sorry, the bottle chop. Um, but yeah, that you know which one I'm talking about, where like
Yeah,
yeah,
when
yeah,
he chops the
Johnny's.
beer bottle.
Mhm. Yep,
Yeah,
yep. So John,
absolutely.
yeah,
That's a great one, and I didn't think of it. But no, it
yes.
is a karate move. It's a
It is a
karate
yep,
chop.
yep.
Yeah,
Mr. Miyagi did it,
yeah.
and we see Daniel do it to Johnny while Johnny's drinking a beer, and like why this one stuck out, it's because like Johnny isn't easily impressed by the shit that Daniel does,
Hmm.
and that was a moment, and not only a moment that he was impressed that like, oh, Daniel just did this, but it's also like the whole conversation about like Mr. Miyagi, and he's also badass, and he saved your life, whatever.
Yeah,
But yeah,
that's
it's
it.
just
Yeah.
yeah, just a really great moment.
Yeah, I regret not having that one on my list because I feel like I should have. But yeah, that's absolutely a great one. I totally agree. For those who've listened, I've talked about that episode a lot. It's one of my favorite episodes, and it's one of my favorite episodes of the show. Even that moment there. So
Mhm.
yeah, definitely great answer. All right, number three for me. This is I think this will be a common one, and maybe you'll have this one too. So.
Okay.
Season three, episode five, Miyagi-Do. Chosen does the pressure point techniques on Daniel and takes him out. Finished with a little nose honk.
Yes, you know me too well. I do have it. It's actually my number two.
Yeah.
Um, first time we see Chosen back ever since, Karate Kid 2, in these two episodes, episode 304 and 305.
Mhm.
And yeah, we still don't know what the hell he's up to. And also, this is the first time we see an aggressive side of Miyagi-Do. And so.
Hmm.
Yeah, really enjoyed it. We see it performed a couple more times, but as we often say here, we have a little spot here for the first.
The first,
And
yeah, yeah,
yep,
and I
yep,
and I think the first is really the best too. Um,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I love the whole montage. It's going back and forth. Chosen's mostly getting Daniel, but then there was like Daniel gets chosen once, and then Chosen's like, oh no, and then he busts out that whole technique, and it just goes the whole way. Yeah, it's a
Oh
really
yeah,
great
and
moment.
if you remember, like I don't remember if I asked. I feel like I might have asked Yuji on an interview because once Daniel is like down, Chosen kind of like man I don't want to say it's a strut, but it's like some sort of like he's like dusting himself off a little bit, for like the
Hmm.
finishing move kind of thing. Like he does this
Right.
thing,
Hmm.
yeah, and I feel he said that like that's just he just did it on his own. Like it wasn't, directed or on paper. Like
Right.
he just felt like
Hmm.
that's what Chosen would have done. And
Hmm.
so that always stood out. So like leading into that as well, to kind of like compare it to Daniel doing it to Johnny or Kreese even. Don't really want to talk about bring up the one on Kreese. That one was probably like the one where you're like, okay, I want to see it done to this one. But
Hmm.
with Johnny, you see it happening, and you're like, wait, well, what's going on? Why, Daniel, what are you doing? So
Hmm.
there's a lot of emotions going on in that sequence as well. But like, I do love Zach and Leo's score in 305 when Chosen's doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really great scene. But yep, I have it at number two.
Okay.
And so that was your three, right?
That was my three. Yeah.
Three. Okay, so my number three is this comes from season 4, episode 10, The Fall, The
The
Rise.
Rise. The Rise.
Yep. And this one comes from no other than the bonsai badass herself, Samantha. It's the flying tornado kick. I really like this because, well, this is something that Johnny taught her, and she executed it. And I think this is. I think she scores a point if I remember correctly, and I love how like Tori goes to talk to like Kreese and Silver, and she points out like she's fighting aggressive,
She's
and
fighting
so
aggressive. Yeah.
yeah, and I love that moment for Sam,
Hmm.
and so that's why I have that on here, and like I also want to give like a 3B for Johnny also doing it in season 5, and Mole, I think he does it. I feel
Mole
like he
or the
does.
first one? I'm not sure. Does
He
he
does it.
fight in
Yeah,
Mole? Yeah.
yeah. In the arena, the what's it called? Hector's place, the underground. I don't know if it's underground, but like it,
Oh, right.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, sure.
The fight club or
hmm
whatever. Yeah.
Yep, yep, yep.
Hmm.
So that's what I had for number three. So now number two to you.
Number two. Okay, so I took this. It's sort of like the same move that's done twice. I'm combining them. So I'm just gonna mention them both. Same kind of similar is you'll see. So here we go. Season 3, episode 5, Miyagi Do, and season 5, episode 5, Extreme Measures. This is Robbie running and jumping and flipping off the walls. He does it while he's fighting Sean. He's pushing him, and then literally does a flip off the wall to get
Yeah.
behind him and kick him. And then again, when he's fighting Miguel, he like fakes one way, jumps off the wall, and then kicks Miguel in a great shot. So it's Robbie's wall jumps combined with kicks and other moves. Really cool. I mean, Tanner is one of the most natural athletes on in the cast. So, he's doing that himself, which I think makes it all the more better. That's raising it up because it is Tanner actually doing these stunts.
hmm
Great stuff. Great to watch. Yeah, I love it with that Sean fight and then again with the Miguel, those jumping off the walls. I hope we get something similar, even topping that in season 6.
Oh yeah, I completely agree with you. About everything you just said about Tanner. Maybe some people don't know that Tanner also dances, and so he can move. That guy can move. I did rewatch the school fight, and there was another thing that Robbie does that I think is really cool when he's fighting Miguel. It's when they're in the hallway, and Robbie does this like kick, and I really wish that I had it to describe, but he kicks with like one foot and then maneuvers around to and kicks with the other foot, like almost in the
I
same
think I know what
spin.
you're talking. You know, you're
Yeah.
talking about when they're on the top level.
Oh, is that right? Oh,
Yeah,
okay. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. It's
because they're
before
next
the
to the
flashback.
railing. Yeah, he kicks.
Yeah. Okay.
Miguel grabs his leg and then he leaps up and kicks with his other foot. And I
Okay.
actually had that originally in my honorable mentions. I took it
Ah.
out. But
Okay.
I was debating. I didn't want to get too much Robbie too. Like I was gonna have
Well, yeah.
because
You
I
know
was
what?
gonna have like four Robbie ones, so I didn't, you know,
I
so
mean,
I did take it out.
honestly,
Yeah,
it makes a lot of sense. Robbie, you're right. Robbie has a
yeah.
lot of. He's got some good. He's got some good moments, and also, if you think about it, Robbie probably has done him and Sam, right? Of a lot of the kids, they have the most experience, or at least they started much earlier than a lot of them, didn't he? Right?
Well,
Well,
not so
I
much
guess
Sam, but you know, Robbie started earlier for sure, and I think really from the point
well,
of view of the choreographers, like since Tanner does have the most natural talent, they can
mhm,
give him like the best stuff,
right, right.
and then they can shoot it right up with Tanner, you know, so that's
Hmm.
why we get some of that stuff. You know, just some of the, the actors, you know, you rely on your stunt double. It's fine, but like, you can get a little bit closer and such with Tanner.
Hmm. Yeah, absolutely. I can't wait to see what he's got for us in season six.
Right.
Um, yeah, okay. And so I already gave my number two earlier. That's where we cross with the chosen pressure points. So my number one, right? I go straight to number one now. Um, I'm going to straight to number one with a bullet, a silver bullet from
Oh,
episode 507. I'll need some help on that one. I'm kind of, I just put 50 question mark. But it's a silver bullet. I
508. The Sakai
put
Takai
508.
one is,
Yes,
yeah.
because well that
Seven is bad eggs.
okay. Okay, so Sekatai
Right?
Kai, because it was definitely when
Yeah.
Kenny does it as well. I'm assuming it was the same episode. Um, but anyway, I like the look of it, and I also like the way it's executed in terms of like the editing style, like the slow mo and cocking back, and I just think
Hmm.
it looks really slick. And I originally had it at number two, Nature versus Nurture fight. That was actually number one.
Yeah.
Um, so
No,
uh,
no, can't argue. And you're talking about Silver doing it
Silver doing it,
on the
yes,
dummy. Yeah, yeah.
correct. Yep, on Bob. Poor
Sorry,
Bob.
Kenny, but Silver was a little bit, you know, pumped.
It's his
Yeah,
method. It's
yeah.
his name
His
in
name.
the damn
Yeah,
method. Yeah, that's
yeah,
his name. If it was
yeah.
Kenny Bullet, different story.
Yeah, that is a great. It's just the
Well,
visual. Even as you're
yeah,
talking about it, I'm
hmm
visualizing it. I'm sure all the listeners were visualizing it. It's
yeah.
just you can see it. It's beautiful.
The
Definitely agree.
painful bullet. How about that? The painful bullet. Okay, now we're talking about Kenny, but yeah,
Painful
it's
strike. Yeah, that'll he'll have his
yeah.
own moves.
But yeah, just the silver bullet is just sexy and
Hmm.
sleek and just yeah,
Yeah, just looks
very
great. Yeah.
visually just stunning. Yeah.
Hmm.
So yep, that at number one. All right, what do we
My number
have?
one.
Your
Look,
number one?
it's maybe it's an easy one, but
Okay.
I don't. Season 5, episode 10. Head of Snake. Daniel's crane kick.
Ah,
I love it. It was just classic. It's the most classic, iconic Karate Kid move. You know, it's been referenced and memed and mocked so many times. I mean, I think Ralph tries to just protect it a little, and you know, he doesn't want to do it, and they find a time to bring it back and make it count, and that's what they did. And you know, that's why we're watching. You know, they
yeah.
nailed it. It's exactly
Hmm.
what we're looking for, and I loved it. And you know, you can't have the Karate Kid without the crane kick, and you got to make it right, and that's what they did. So I'm happy for that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I can't argue with that. I guess a little surprised, not surprised. Like it makes
Hmm.
sense. Like I'll
Yeah.
say that it makes sense. At your number one. if you know, for those that listen to this podcast, you have talked about this moment, this sequence, many a times, and
Hmm.
so
Hmm.
yeah, I can't argue with that. So let's get into your honorable mentions and then recap your five.
All right. So honorable mentions. First one, this is the fun one. Season 3, episode 3. Now you're gonna pay. Bobby sweeps Johnny's leg in the
Nice.
church.
Yes, yes. You know what? I really wanted to go back and watch the 20 take a right,
Six. So,
take a
yeah,
six.
206.
Yeah,
Yeah.
take a.
With
I
them.
wanted to
I
go
actually,
back.
yeah.
I
He's
wanted to
got some
include
good moves in
OG.
that one too. He
All
does
right.
like a high crescent kick and stuff. But I like this the like sweep here. He comes up and kind of fixes his suit, the jacket and
Yeah,
everything.
yeah.
It's the full moment. Yeah.
But it's also like doing it to Johnny. You know, not just
Yeah.
like in a fight, but it's like your buddy. Yeah, I do like that. That's a good one. That's a good
Yeah.
one.
Sweep your leg. All right. And okay, this is a good one. Season 4, episode 5, match point. This is Johnny counters Daniel's kick after he'd been hit by the pressure points when he was destabilized, and then takes Daniel down and scores a point.
Mhm.
I think this is like an underrated move by Johnny because
Yeah,
Daniel was fighting a little dirty, started busting out the pressure points in this sort of match they got going on. He did one or two, like half of Johnny's body's out, and then Daniel goes to kick and take Johnny out, but Johnny beats Daniel. He kicks his own leg back, and then literally takes Daniel down and nails him.
yeah.
I think like it's a really underrated moment for Johnny. That was really cool.
Oh, 100%. Underrated and also just the I don't know if logistics is the right word, but the technicality
Hmm.
of that move, I
Yeah.
think absolutely is a really really good one. I know for me, like in that moment, my feelings are more at like Daniel, you dick, you know,
Hmm. Yeah.
and not necessarily even thinking about the move that Johnny just used to counter him. Yeah, absolutely, great one actually.
And season 4, episode 10, The Rise. This is the Robbie Hawk fight. They both sort of kip up, they jump up when they both got knocked down in the fight.
And they
It's
removed the
it's like
shirts.
getting up, but yeah,
Oh,
it's
oh,
really cool. Yeah, without the shirts, yeah, everything. But that's just a great moment in their fight for the two of them. They
yeah.
both look so badass. So that was a basic one, but I liked that one. So I'll recap. Number 5, 302, Nature versus Nurture. Johnny sweeps while Daniel spin kicks to the face to the thugs at the repair shop. Number 4, 110, Mercy. Hawk's flying punch in celebration. The flying hawk punch, maybe we'll call it.
I
Number
like it.
3, yeah, season 3, episode 5, Miyagi Do. Chosen does the pressure point technique on Daniel. Number 2, combined 305 Miyagi Do and 505 extreme measures. It's Robbie running off the walls and flipping over Sean and taking him from behind, and also jumping off the wall to kick Miguel. So it's basically Robbie's wall jumps.
Mhm.
Number 1, 510 head of snake, Daniel's crane kick. And then honorable mentions 303. Now you're going to pay Johnny sweep or Bobby sweeps Johnny at the church. 405 match point. Johnny counters Daniel's kick after the pressure points and then takes Daniel down and scores a point. 410, the rise, Robbie and Hawk kip up, flip up from the bats, shirtless.
Solid eight. And, you know, we can obviously do a part two or three of this very topic. A
You
lot of
can.
great, yeah, moments.
Mhm.
And man, I'm just thinking about like so many other fights in
Mhm.
season five that we barely talked about. You know, there's like
Mhm.
there's got to be some sort of move in the five Ouroboros, like in the dojo with like Johnny and Chosen versus like um, I'm forgetting the sensei's name, but there's so many. So my honorable mentions, the first one I have listed comes from Mercy, episode 210.
No mercy.
No Mercy. Okay, No
Yeah.
Mercy. This is Stingray in the school
Oh,
fight.
ha ha ha
So
ha!
my
Good one.
man here, he starts off with like a three hit combo.
Mhm.
Um, I forget what he does with like the second guy, but then he hips check like a third guy,
Yeah.
and so it's just like it's like a series of moves, and so I want
He kneels and grabs someone's tendon or
that's what
something.
it was.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he kind of like squats down to make sure he's not
Yeah.
gonna like cramp a muscle, leg muscle. But you're right, yeah. So there's that. My second one, you mentioned a crane kick. I have a different one from 110. Mercy? No, Mercy.
Mercy. That's
Oh, Mercy.
Mercy.
Okay, there we go. Miguel performing the crane
Ah,
kick.
there
So
you
the
go.
first time we see a Cobra Kai perform a crane kick, executes it perfectly. Just a little jab there at Daniel from Johnny, and
Hmm.
yeah, I thought that was a really good one. And when I remember my reaction when I first saw that, I go, holy shit, no way. No, no, they did not just do that. That was my legit reaction. I could not believe it. And my third honorable mention is from 203, Fire and Ice. A move, karate adjacent, but it's when Hawk does the flip during a demonstration and kicks the boards being held by Dimitri.
Oh,
Because like you get the like the screeching hawk as a sound effect as
no,
well,
yeah.
and I remember seeing that in the trailer and thinking that looked so cool because then and then it cuts to Dimitri holding like the
The
broken boards,
boards. Yeah.
yeah, and you're just like, what the hell is going on? So that season two trailer, man, is so special. I really wish
It really was.
the original version is still out there, with like all the songs and such. To recap my five, I have at 5302, Nature versus Nurture. That's the Johnny and Daniel tandem, taking down the one guy in the fight, the same one you had. Number four, 402, First Learn Stand. That's the bottle chop from Daniel.
Hmm.
Number three, 410, The Rise, Flying Tornado Kick from Sam. Number two, 305, Chosen Pressure Points in Miyagi-Do. And number one, 508, this is when Terry Silver performs, or demonstrates rather, the silver bullet to Bob, or, their version of Bob, which is still Bob, but um, I
Hmm.
forget what it stood for, but that's why it's called Bob. It's like,
Yeah.
body something rather. But anyway, oh yeah, and yeah, the honorables, Stingray in 210, Miguel's crane kick in 110, and the Hawks flip and kicks the board in 203 Fire and Ice. So again, did not solicit for any feedback. After going through these lists, I want to rewatch the All Valley season four, episodes 409 and 410. I'm gonna go back and watch those tonight. Um,
Mm.
I do need to do a binge at some point, but
Yeah.
yeah, I jump around so much. So let's see
Me too.
here. I don't I don't have a top. Hopefully I can think of one while we're kind of wrapping up here. You have a couple videos that people should definitely check out. There was one Sam one I did not expect to see, but it was actually a positive Sam one. Something Mary said on the Lone Lobos, and you made a video out of that. I think that was a good watch. And then the Crease one was
Yeah.
something that he mentioned in a previous interview with me and Susan when they came on to talk about Taste of Love.
Right.
So those two. Anything else you could think of that you've done recently?
The ones we mentioned, let's see. I also put out a short one on Terry Silver. I had a couple of short ones out. We're talking like 3 minutes, you know, 3.5 minutes, a couple of short ones. Yeah, the Sam one, and then some of the other videos based on some set pictures or something, which semi spoilers. So beware of those. But if you're interested in those, and like I said, I'm making a video on that tweet about the lore.
Hmm.
So I want to get in it. There may even be like two videos because I have like this video, and then I think I have a theory for the last fight, or I'll just say like maybe the last fight for Johnny or something, or Johnny's big fight. Somewhere in here, something came to me, and I think so. I'm gonna it's like I gotta make the other video first and then do that. So, I'll get to it. Hopefully soon. It won't be
And
too
if you
long.
guys haven't already, you should subscribe. So when those videos
Mhm.
drop, you'll be able to see them.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So here we go. Tune in to the next episode when we discuss top five needle drops.
Ah,
What do you think of that one? That sounds fun.
it's
Yeah.
not, it's my weakness, but
Oh,
I can do it.
okay. Is it more titles for you or?
Just like songs, like I wouldn't, I have to think, wait, is that actually like a needle drop, a song, or the soundtrack, from Zach and Leo, but, um,
Oh, I see. Yeah,
I
yeah.
could do it, but I do know most of them are certainly
Right.
from the earlier seasons.
Yeah, yeah. And for those that is unfamiliar with the term needle drop, it's the song a song in the show, so not score from Zach and Leo, the composers. There's been many songs that were reused from the movies, and obviously songs from the show itself. So plenty to choose from, and that will be the next topic. And yep, that's pretty much it. Watch
So
party,
we're going to
yeah.
include needle drops from the movie, like Young Hearts. So it's the
Well,
movie reused, yeah.
yeah,
Not the
yeah. So
score from the movie.
correct,
Um,
right. I mean, Young Hearts was being used in Cobra Kai, so that can be included. So we're
okay,
not, we're yeah, we're only doing just the ones that appeared on Cobra Kai. If they
right.
were in the movie as well, totally fine. But as long as it was also in Cobra Kai. hmm
And it's got to
Uh,
be a pre-existing song. What about a new, I got to clarify, what about a new cover?
a new cover.
Cruel
Right.
Summer,
I
which was
mean,
made specifically for the show.
it's still a needle drop.
Okay, so we're
Yeah, yeah.
calling that a needle drop. Okay.
Yeah. So just any song that it has been used on the show.
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, and you know what? Your own interpretation.
All
So
right.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. So that'll be it. Watch party. Where can people find you if they don't already follow you on social media?
Yeah, obviously YouTube at Watch Party, on Twitter X, Instagram, Watch Party One. You can follow me there. Those are my main spots.
Right. And for me, you can find me at Cobra Kai Pod on X/Twitter or on Instagram at Cobra Kai Companion Network. If you want to follow me there to see all the things I do, Obliterated. At some point, we'll get to the episode reviews over there. Twisted Metal, they're in the writers' room for season 2, and also just released in the UK on Paramount Plus. So UK listeners, go check out Twisted Metal. A lot of fun. Can't wait for season 2. And what else do I do? Is that it? Yeah, that's the three shows.
Mhm.
All right, so that's gonna do it, and we will catch you guys next time.
Bye.